Welcome to another episode of the Comedy Hype News Show, Late Night. I'm your host, Symphony Thompson. Well, comedy beefs are not slowing down anytime soon after TMZ released a video of Donnell Rawlings and Corey Holcomb arguing back and forth while Corey was performing at the Laugh Factory. Now, sources say Donnell performed that night, Corey followed him on stage and deviated from his set to talk about Donnell. And that's when he jumped in. Let's take this one to the desk.
And when these ignorant ass people make bullshit comments.
Now, before we get into today's topic and continue, I have to check in with my guys on the couch, starting with my lovely co-host, Mr. Lester Green.
Hey, what's up, what's up?
Yeah, we can clap for that. Lester, we're back for another episode.
We are.
How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm feeling bright. I'm feeling good. I like the lime green blazer.
You know what I'm saying?
You styling and profiling, right? She's styling.
And it's black owned, Lester.
Oh, is it? Oh, she's stunting on us.
I mean, you know, because here's the thing. Every day I'm going to have on a black owned item.
Okay.
I would pay you $100, Lester, if you ever catch me without something black owned on.
All right, that's a deal. That's a deal.
Okay. Now, with us, Lester, we got a hard-hitting comedian. Atlanta's own, B Tuck. How you doing?
Tiffany,
Thank you for joining us.
good.
How you doing?
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Of course.
I love Comedy Hype.
I like that. Well, earlier I talked a little bit about Donnell and Corey Holcomb. I want to take a look at the clip and come back and get you all's reaction. So let's take a look at this clip.
Get your whole ass down, nigga. I came up in the hardest rooms in Brooklyn, and you ain't never with them rooms. You just yelling. Because I don't have a mic. You want to talk about it? You saying I'm mild. You saying I ain't come through the streets or the gutters and straight bull. Let's be fair and real. You say you keep it 100. Know how I get down. How? 32. I rip. You ask any ever see me bomb. Anybody. And you ask anybody that don't know me, I keep it gangster. You trying to say I'm a bum. I ain't no bum.
No, I didn't say
and that saw.
Your comedy is mild.
You know what? You know what you're doing now? You're a provocateur. You know how to incite people. Ain't nothing mild about my say what you want to say. You calling me a mild comic is totally off. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. That's right.
Now, I got to start with you, B Tuck.
I feel like Donnell, he was in the right. Corey, it's a time and a place for everything, but you address me on stage, show over. The show is over. You called me mild. He called that man mild.
It spelled it out.
I will say this, though. Donnell Rawlings was on the Breakfast Club not too long ago, dressed in a suit and everything, and he was talking about how he's changing up his whole act, and he's sort of looking more professional. And so I thought that he could have handled that in a more professional manner.
He called that man mild. What if he did that? What if he called you mild?
I wouldn't mind being called mild.
You want to be called mild?
Mild? That's not, it's not like he called him the N-word or...
A lot of people are blaming this on Shannon Sharpe because all these interviews that we're seeing on Shannon Sharpe.
I get that he had that moment and Cat Williams went off, but you trying to tell me he's responsible for everything? Yeah. Right? These people have to take ownership for their own actions. That's how I see it.
My daughter, she cheered with somebody named Shay Shay. I don't think a grown man 60 years old need to be going by Shay Shay. Because it sounds messy. And his podcast is messy.
You don't like his podcast?
I'm saying I love it. It's like, come on, man. Everybody keep going to Cat. Everybody was calling me about Cat. Folks who ain't never came to none of my comedy shows calling me, what you think about Cat? I thought Cat did exactly what he was supposed to do. He came on there and addressed everybody that addressed him. It wasn't nothing but tea. I'm not saying it was tea, but what I'm saying is, it's basically what we saying in the green room. It was exposed right here on Front Street.
So then, is that to blame? Do we blame Cat Williams for that or Shannon Sharpe? Because Shannon Sharpe is getting the blame, because Shannon didn't even ask any questions before Cat just went off.
He just went off.
So do we blame Shannon Sharpe, or is
Ain't
this
nobody to blame.
a result of Cat Williams?
Okay. It is what it is. I'm just saying, everybody else, he came on there and addressed everybody else.
We got to keep in mind, these are adults that we're talking about.
Grown adults,
right?
older
So
than
they
me.
should be held responsible for their own actions.
Facts.
Right?
Okay.
Well,
so both of them.
We don't blame no. Well, speaking of Shannon Sharpe has a target on his back ever since his viral interviews with Cat Williams and Monique. Ever since those conversations hit the web, comedians like Mike Epps and Eddie Griffin have both publicly roasted Sharpe in their stand-up acts, calling the former NFL player gay. Since then, Epps and Sharpe have made headlines and amended all of their disputes, even going so far to take a picture together after the public feud. Now, Eddie Griffin, on the other hand, would share an apology through Radiant TV, which is a platform that he is in business with.
Everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But he getting paid to do this stuff. I guess that's what they do. With like Wendy Williams. We had Wendy Williams, now we got Shay Shay.
I just don't understand. To me, when I think of Eddie Griffin, I think of that show he did with Malcolm and Eddie.
Malcolm and Eddie.
Right, and that was the last time I heard of him.
What?
And no, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just trying to say it seems very convenient for him to now come out of nowhere with his comments. Everybody's trying to jump on the bandwagon to knock Shannon Sharpe. It just seems a little
popular.
Right, but it doesn't feel like he really would have done that had people not been talking about Shannon Sharpe. It's like you see somebody getting picked on, oh, you know what, I'm gonna just jump on and throw my 2 cents in. But before that, it seemed like Eddie Griffin was quiet. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this, Lester. Do you think Shannon Sharpe should stop addressing comedians when they, address him in their stand-up act? Or
I think, well, I remember Shannon Sharpe, he went on the record and he said that he hopes that these people aren't out of jokes. Because really, that's what these comedians are supposed to be doing. Calling him gay and calling him out of his name, that is irrelevant.
That's the joke, though. I'm just saying.
Is that creative, though?
And he got mad. Am I wrong? He got mad because the man called him gay. If you ain't gay, just let it go.
But to me, it seems like these comedians are just getting on the stage and just ranting.
Where
are the jokes?
That is a joke.
I don't find it funny.
Yeah, it's not a, or it doesn't feel like an organized joke of like really, like, where's the punchline?
Right, you're just going up there and freestyling.
So yeah, what do you think? Do you think rants are considered jokes, or like, are you kind of missing that like structured, like, here's my punchline, here's my...
Okay, since we saying like that, a rant is definitely not a joke. But I don't think comedians should go up there and just rant the whole time.
You don't do that, right? Do you do that?
Nah.
What's your style like? How would you classify your style?
I like to talk about stuff that I really done been through. You know what I'm saying?
Personal
like life
stuff.
Experiences. Because can't nobody steal no life experience from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all finna see my set in a few.
Well, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I have one more. This one is actually something going viral from one of my dear friends, actually. He's teaching young boys how to address police officers when they get pulled over. So we'll be back right after this.
Oh, you feeling my shirt? Well, I'll tell you where I got it from, but it's a bit of a secret. Nah, it's the Hype Market, thehypemarket.com. This is where I get all my exclusive pieces from black-owned to cool-owned brands. Every brand has a story, and you get a chance to figure out who and what you're spending your money on. I mean, they even have spaces for you to use. Come here. They even have tickets for events and exclusive joints just like this. Oh, now, if you excuse me, they just dropped some new art, and I think it's time for me to add to my collection.
I'm still joined with Lester Green and B Tuck, and let's dive into this last topic. Now, social media user who goes by the name King Randall teaching black kids what to do when pulled over by the police. Now, even though most were supportive of what he's doing, it wouldn't take social media long before everyone jumped in and kind of had something to say. Randall's video was met with some criticism by those online who feel Randall's method involves surrendering some basic American rights. He says, I've been getting a lot of negative commentary about teaching the students to be polite to the police and fight the ticket in court. Most people are saying that we should argue on the side of the road. For y'all to be so scared of the police, you sure don't sound like it. Let's take a look at this clip.
First thing I want to do is already have my stuff ready, okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to get to the freaking car, and when he gets to the car, you got to go fumbling around looking for stuff, right? Why don't we want to fumble around looking for stuff? Exactly, they're going to feel unsafe, you understand? Another thing I want to do I'm gonna let all my windows down, okay? I ain't got nothing to hide, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let all my windows down in the car. Yes, sir. All right, cool. So he gonna get my license. He may or may not go back to the car, which they usually do. You see, check your name, see if you got any warrants, if your license suspended, blah, blah, blah. But you sit tight and just wait for him to finish. Good?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. He's coming back, bring my license. Now, what's the wrong thing to do if I'm getting pulled over and he come up to the car? Talk back, cussing, talking smack, all that stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
We're not talking smack, we're not cussing, we're not telling them what our rights is, blase, blase, blah. We're not doing none of that, you understand?
Yes, sir.
We're trying to get home.
Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of controversy. Some people agree with it. Some people are saying no to it. Lester, what's your thoughts?
I love it. I think it's very educational. It's realistic. And I think we need more of that. This reminds me of a situation that happened to me when I was driving in an area. We were working on set, and I passed the stop sign without stopping. I didn't even realize there was a stop sign there. And the officer pulled me over. And instead of getting nasty or upset, I just listened to him. And he said, listen, did you realize there was a stop sign back there? I said, oh, no, I didn't. I really didn't. He said, you know what? I can tell you from out of town. What are you guys doing over there? I said, we're working on set. We're filming something. He said, all right, just be more careful next time. And he let me go. Now, had I been aggressive, like, yo, what you pulling me over for, man? Come on, man. I ain't do nothing. I'm black. You got a problem with black people?
You got a ticket.
I might have gotten shot.
You got a ticket.
Forget about a ticket. I would have been dead.
I'm trying to tell you.
So I like it.
Yeah, B-Tuck, what do you
Hey,
thoughts?
man, I agree that he's giving his kids the information, like, don't be going back and forth with the police.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's doing. I'm trying to keep their foot out of my ass.
Yeah.
Because the police will kill you. They'll beat your ass, for real. They'll beat you up.
No, that's
They'll
for sure.
shoot you.
And even for the people that are, because what I really appreciated about the video was him also saying, like, now, is it going to happen gracefully every time? Even if you do something right all the time, no, it does not mean it's always going to happen. We've seen situations where, you know, black men, black women have done what was right and still ended in an unfortunate situation, but that still doesn't mean you want to go against and kind of have like this hoorah-rah, you know, when you're in that kind of situation. It is definitely unfortunate what we experience in this country, especially in 2024, you know, just to be real. But I do appreciate that he's doing the work to teach black kids what to do in those situations.
Yeah, I do know that whenever I see a cop behind me, I try to move out the way.
Quick.
Right? Yeah. And
It's so crazy
Did you
that
guys
you
hear
say
about
that.
that Jamie Foxx situation? This was a while ago. He talked about how he was driving his own neighborhood. I guess he was in a nice car. And the police officer pulled up behind him, and he said he got scared.
Yeah.
Because as black people, we just think, oh, shoot, cops, something bad's going to
Every
happen.
single time. Let me tell you, I can be going the speed limit.
Right.
Every single time I pass a cop, I'm like, wait a second, and my heart drop. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we actually have a special stand-up comedy performance by the one and only Mr. B-Tuck. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Stepfather's in the building. I'm a stepfather as well. No step parents. That's the reaction I usually get when I ask where the step parents at. I usually be the only one. But it's cool though. I love my stepdaughter. She cool. And her father's in her life as well. He stay in another state, but he bought her a dog from my house. So I got a stepdaughter and a stepdog. Like, this shit is ghetto. He don't send no kibbles and bits or nothing. The dog, I'm the only one in the house can take care of the dog. So one time we had went out of town. You know, white folks, when they usually go out of town, they take their dog with them out of town. I'm talking about my neighbor, they took their dog to Russia. White folks took the dog to Russia, 30-hour flight to Russia, had the dog in the bottom of the plane. Black folks, we don't take our dog out of town, we check the weather. I saw that it was gonna be 60 degrees outside. I said, we can leave the dog outside. So we were gone for 3 days. I'm smart, I left 6 days worth of food outside. But I don't think the dog understand English because I looked at the camera, he done ate 6 days worth of food in 30 minutes. Yeah, that's why I'm like, he don't understand English that good. I gotta learn how to speak Siberian. So I feel sorry for the dog on the next day. I'm looking at the camera, he looking at the door, wagging his tail, licking his lips. He hungry, because that's what he do when he hungry. I feel sorry for the dog. He think we in the house, like, well, we in Nashville. So I did the only thing I had the energy to do. I ordered the dog some Uber Eats, a half a turkey, and a sweet tea. Yeah, I know the dog don't drink sweet tea, but hear me out. Uber is ghetto. Once you put the tea, take the tea off the order, the price went up like $17. Yeah, so he had to get the tea. But you gotta watch out for them Uber Eats drivers, because they think they slick. They like to put their food on your door, take their picture, and get in their car and drive off, because they embarrassed because they doing Uber Eats. They embarrassed, that's why they do it so fast. They don't want you to see their face while they doing food delivery. And you don't think I'm telling the truth? Just imagine, when we growing up in school, what was the worst job we could grow up and do? Work at McDonald's. These folks that grew up, now they work at all the restaurants. They work at all the restaurants, McDonald's, Dantana's. They try to take the picture, so I put in a memo on the Uber Eats driver, just throw over the roof to the best of your ability, because it's for the dog. Don't throw it in the front and take no picture. I love doing comedy, boy. They be having me doing shows everywhere. I did a show last week at a hospice. That's nice, man. I'm out here doing shows for folks who got 30 minutes to live. But my set was an hour long. So I'm in that bitch killing. Literally, people is dying while I'm on stage. 3 people died. 3 people died. By the time, when I got there, it was sold out. When I got there, it was sold out. By the time I left, it was seats available. We could have sold them seats again. That shit crazy. Get that insurance, man. Get that life insurance, too. You got to have it. If nobody in your family like you, or you got a small family, you need to be the first person with life insurance. My cousin died. He done stole from everybody in the family. We raised $18 for this man. Yeah, and that came from church. We was at church. It was $22 in the collection plate. We didn't send it back around. Somebody done took their $4 back. So we didn't have this man's body for 3.5 months in the deep freezer at the house. We didn't throw him in the deep freezer and forgot. We didn't threw my cousin in the deep freezer and forgot about him in the deep freezer. And then I messed around and went to Whole Foods, and they had a sale on some ribs and some chicken. And you know what I'm saying, some lamb chops. So I done got $400 worth of lamb chops and chicken and ribs for $75. So I done got back to the house and opened up the deep freezer. Lo and behold, I done forgot this nigga still in the deep freezer. I had to pull him out. Cause I'd rather he spoiled than my lamb chops. You know? I pulled his ass out. The day done went by, he got the stinking and unthawing. I said, we gotta figure out what to do with Cuz. We ain't had no money to bury him or cremate him or nothing, so we had to take him to a taxidermy. Yeah. We done got my cousin stuffed like an alligator, y'all. We done got my cousin stuffed like an alligator. And when he died, he got hit by a bus. He was trying to run across the street. He got hit by a bus. So this how his body was. This how they gave us his body back. He just at my auntie house, just like this. We turned into a coat rack. That shit crazy. All right, Comedy Hype, I had fun with y'all. My name is B Tuck. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Peace.
How did y'all like that? Thank you, Mr. B Tuck. Now, how can everybody keep up with everything that you have going on?
I'm actually on all social media networks at B Tuck Comedy, from YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything, one thing. B Tuck Comedy, man. You can find me. And I have I think they said it already, I have a comedy special finna drop in March on all platforms, from Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, everything.
Make sure they go get that.
Make sure they find me. Made from Scratch Comedy, produced by B Tuck.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, B Tuck. Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna be joined by actor Christopher B. Duncan. We'll be back right after this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What's happening? What's up? It's your boy Deanne Turner, and I'm here to tell you about this mic right here. This is the hottest mic in the world. Why? Because it's in Atlanta, Georgia, baby. And no other comedy scene is better than Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I've been to New York, I've been to California, I've been to Texas, I've even done comedy in Dubai. But Atlanta's comedy scene is the purest form of entertainment that you'll ever get. Some of the best comics have stepped on this stage, from OGs to up and coming, and they destroying the mic. I'm your host each and every week, D'Anthony Turner.
They worry about Epstein list. Puffy list gonna be
up. That got T.D. Jakes in the beginning. I can imagine who gonna come out in March. Cause Bishop T.D. Jakes can't even go to church no more. Every time I see that, I think about some head. I walked in on my they said, what you want? I said, to be swallowed up.
Check it out for yourself. Either come to the city or catch us on TV, baby. Each and every week, Hype Mike, we destroying the mic.
Welcome back to the Comedy Hype News Show Late Night. Now, Lester, I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
I was excited before, and then when he got here, it was like even more excitement.
Right. It's
when
real.
we saw him in the back, I was like,
Me too.
Man, I got to get it together. It has to be a good one, Lester.
All
Y'all
right.
give it up for the one and only Mr. Christopher B. Duncan.
Thank you. Thank you, Bert. Thank you very much.
I know I
Appreciate
told you a million times, but thank you again for being here.
It's my pleasure, Symphony. Always. Always good times here.
It is, and it's always a good time when you're here.
Thank you.
How are you?
All is well. I don't have many complaints. Just my family and I are healthy and well, so what can I ask more than that, you know?
Yeah, I think it's like there's so much going on in the world that it's just like, as long as home is good, like when I get home, let me just make sure home is taken care of.
That needs to be a sanctuary, a place of peace, you know, inner peace where you can just go, let the stresses of the day just flow off your back and chill, period.
Yeah.
If you don't have a sanctuary, I think that's a recipe for madness and stress, which can cause what? Illness.
Correct.
When it's prolonged.
Because when my home is not in order, unless it is for me, especially if it's junky, if the vibe isn't right, I'm a mess. I'm gonna come here and look at the Warren Lester, but to let you know, if I'm ever flustered, just know it's because home is not taken care of.
Okay.
Home is
taken care of right now, though, right?
It's good. I'm
So
great.
We won't see any.
I'm
of
great.
You being flustered.
I'm great. I'm ready to talk. So I want to start out, and I think this is actually a good conversation to start because both of you are actors. Obviously, you've been in the game for a really long time, over 30 years. We can give it up for that first and foremost. And you've shared the screen with so many legends. First of all, just hearing that and being able to reflect on that, how does that make you feel, knowing that you're one of them, you're a living legend? I don't know if that offends you or not, but...
I feel insulted that you would say such a thing about me.
You know.
I mean, how dare you, Symphony? No, please. I don't even see myself in that respect, but for you to say it, it's incredibly kind, and it means a lot to me, and I thank you.
Okay.
I know, really, I don't look, what do I do? Get up in the morning and go, you're a legend, fella. No, come on, please. I'm grateful to still be making my living in this game. It's a difficult game, as you well know.
Yeah.
You know, for over 30 years now, the craft that I love, I'm incredibly grateful. Because not only is it a difficult industry, if I didn't still love the craft, I wouldn't be in this business anymore. Because there's too much BS to put up with. The politics, the name game. I seriously could write a book on the different experiences I've been through in terms of egos and chaos and the nonsense that can happen in this business. But when it comes to the work, that's delicious.
Being that you have worked with so many legends, is there anybody that you've wanted to work with or that you hope to work with, being that you're still in the game?
There are quite a few people that the list is long of just incredible actors whom I would love to work with. Now, where do I begin? Let's see. I can give you a few names that I would love to get in the ring with. Christian Bale. Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a shapeshifter right there.
That's a good one.
Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo. I would love to do either a Western with Delroy Lindo or like a detective movie where we're both detectives on the verge of retiring, but maybe a mutual friend gets murdered. And the two of us have to go out and get some justice for that murder. That just popped into my head.
I was about to say, so to me it sounds like not just the person, you have a script ready.
I'm just saying, I do envision these things, but I love Delroy's work. Jeffrey Wright, Anthony Hopkins, Meryl Streep, You know what? Viola Davis.
Whew,
Yeah.
that's a powerful one.
In any project, drama, comedy, action, I don't care. Her skill set is jaw-dropping.
Obviously, you've played different roles, which I want to get into that later, and you have different ranges. I know we've had you and had a one-on-one interview and talked about that as well. But of course, the iconic role of Braxton. Of course, that's a household name. A lot of people know it, you know, just the feeling that it gives. And that was over 23 years ago. I don't know how, you know.
Well, I appreciate you making me feel old.
Whoa,
You know what I'm saying?
seasoned. I like to
Thank
say
you.
seasoned.
Oh. I like the
Seasoned,
way
because you know, it's, you're
switched that up. Thank
marinated.
you.
You're marinated. And
Lester, did you know I'm marinated? Did you folks know I am marinated?
Marinated.
Not just a legend, a marinated legend.
I mean, that
Thank
should be
you,
on the
Symphony.
shirt. That should be on the shirt.
Marinated legend, okay.
I'm gonna get it for you. Next time,
Thank
I'm
you
gonna have
very
it ready
much.
for you. But I'm interested to know, because of course we would see you on the show. Of course we know about the time before, but I'm very interested to know what would happen after the show. You know, what was life like for you after the Jamie Foxx show?
Life was still incredible. But in terms of playing Braxton, yes, there were certain, as I've talked about in the past, certain limitations. But here's the thing, Symphony. It's one of those, you know, it's difficult to explain, yet I'll give it a shot. On the one hand, there would be certain kinds of producers who would see me in that limited fashion of, oh, he's Braxton, as opposed to I played Braxton.
Right.
But on the other hand, as soon as Jamie's show was over, I immediately went and got on a series called The District, CBS cop drama. After that, I went to Veronica Mars, which has a cult following. I mean, that show to this day has a big following. So I continued to work.
Yes, you did.
It's just, and I continue to work to this day. But there were definite difficulties in certain rooms where I felt a bit pigeonholed. And you know what? So much of that is in the past for me now.
Yeah.
And I think, especially because of time, you mentioned 23 years
Yeah.
since the show ended. Thank goodness there's this new reality I've been experiencing for the past number of years where that issue is basically out the window now.
Right.
Because I've put out enough of my work and my range to have it speak for itself. I go out now and I do these dramatic roles. I sink my teeth into them. I go back to comedy, action, drama, all of it. I'm able to do all of it freely. And the different roles where there were limitations in the past, not so now.
What advice would you give somebody that may experience that, you know, in a different situation now, because you've gone through it, and because I feel like you could allow that to swallow you if you wanted to.
Right.
You know, you could have said, even though, you know, you could have said like, you know what, I'm done, I'm walking away from it. What advice would you give somebody that feels like they're being pigeonholed, especially up and coming actors and aspiring actors? What kind of advice would you give?
Well, the first thing I would say is you must always, without fail, believe in yourself. Period, in the subject. The other thing is there's a casting director who had this phrase that I'll never forget. It was at this seminar for actors years ago. And the subject of this business being difficult and the journey with all the rejection and how does one get through all of that, or being pigeonholed, all that was talked about. And this casting director said the following, which is part of my answer to you as well. She said, if you want to succeed in this business, you must have the doggedness of a Rottweiler. I haven't forgotten that since. So you combine that doggedness with a belief in oneself, you can be, by choice, unstoppable.
Right.
I don't care how many times I've had to deal with difficulties with being pigeonholed or dealing with rejection. I continue to believe in myself because I know what I have to offer. I don't look at rejection as having to mean anything other than that's part of the business.
Come on.
That's par for the course, so to speak. You're going to get rejected. And I don't care whether you're in entertainment or any other business. You could be, one could be a a doctor even, a lawyer, working at the post office, any job, you're going to deal with a level of politics, you're going to deal with a level of rejection. All of these things are going to be present. So it really comes down to one of my favorite words, grit. What kind of grit do you have in your gut? How much do you want it? How much do you want to embrace that goal you have? My dream, when I was in college, very clear images, very clear dreams for me to make my living in the craft that I love, which is acting. And that's exactly what I've been doing for over 30 years now.
Well, I definitely, wow, Lester. Now, Lester, I see you feeling something from that. What does that make you feel?
Because he's speaking my language. And I remember watching you on an interview show, and you talked about how your father believed in you. He looked at you in your eyes, and he just really knew that you were gonna be somebody. And that means everything. So when you're talking to me, it's like, I feel the same way. I just understand what you're saying, every word. So I just thank you for that.
Wow, Lester.
Absolutely.
Hey, man. Listen, now you're going to get me, you're going to get me all in a space because, especially when you mention my dad.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned my dad, and I appreciate everything you were just saying. Because when I was talking about the necessity of believing in oneself, the reason I've been so fortunate throughout my life, I've talked here about my mom and dad. I've always said to have known them was to love them. Their belief in me and in my brothers allowed me to create a foundation of believing in myself. That's why that is such a gift to this day. To have a dad and a mother, but my dad, as I talked about before, would always look me in the eyes, no matter what he was acknowledging in terms of my efforts and accomplishments. He would put his hand on my shoulder and he would say, "I'm proud of you, son." Now that made me feel like I could accomplish anything in life. That lives inside of me to this day. And fortunately, that's a gift that I now continue to pass on to my kids.
Yeah. And that's how you create new generations within families, like being able to continue yours, but for some people that may not experience that, they can create that for their family and be passed down to the next generation and the next generation.
Yes.
So I appreciate you sharing that. Lester, thank you so much. Now, you were at Garrett Morris's Hollywood Walk of Fame, right?
Yes, I was.
How was that?
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And well-deserved.
Yeah.
Garrett Morris is a force. If you look at Garrett's career, you want to talk about iconic. First cat on SNL, first brother ever to be on SNL. He was, a lot of people don't know this, Garrett was a backup singer with Harry Belafonte.
I did not know that.
A lot of people don't realize that. The brother can sing, act, do stand-up. Like I said, he's a multi-talented force. And Garrett is such good people.
Yeah.
We've stayed in touch all these years. When I talk to Garrett to this day, we're on the phone howling with each other. You can't, this man is so damn funny. The stories he has to tell.
Yeah. Oh, I love a good story.
But just think about the people he's dealt with over the years. You're talking about, I've listened to stories about John Belushi and Harry Belafonte. All these people that are just huge in terms of their impact in the industry. And it was a wonderful, wonderful celebration. And I'm so glad to see Garrett being acknowledged. It was fantastic.
Yeah. No, and even watching it's like, obviously from afar, but just celebrating that. Now, of course, some people would notice like there weren't other castmates that was there, but why did you feel like it was important for you to be there?
It's important for me to be there because, like I said, I have known Garrett for years.
Yeah.
and we're close. And I told him, because I found out that that was going to be his birthday that particular day, as well as his acknowledgement on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Oh, wow. And I said to Garrett, I said, listen to me, unless I'm on a set somewhere in New Zealand, I will be there. You mark my words. And I didn't end up on a set in New Zealand.
Well,
so,
we saw you there.
So I was there. And let me say this. When people are in shows over the years, like as series regulars, a lot of people don't realize it's a naturally occurring thing for some people on shows to be close during the run of a show, and then everyone moves on.
Yeah.
That's a normal kind of experience. I think some people assume, oh, well, if people work on a show together, then they're going to become friends, close friends for life. Yeah. That isn't necessarily the norm at all. It just so happens that Garrett and I chose to stay connected.
Because I can tell you, there are some people that I've worked with every day, and I don't talk to them at all anymore. It happens, though. You know, it's like I'm with you every day, we get the job done, but we don't talk today. But some people, I still do.
And the people that you don't talk to, does that automatically mean there's a beef?
No love lost at all. Wish you well, pray for you, all the things, nothing wrong.
But there isn't necessarily a beef, correct?
Correct, no beef.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. It's just life moving on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about, were you going to chime in?
Yeah, I was
Go
going
ahead,
to ask a quick
in
question.
Yeah.
People say that when you're in Hollywood as an actor or a creative, that people will say, "Oh yeah, let's do lunch. Let's grab lunch. Let's work together." And 9 out of 10 times, it's just talk. Is that your experience? How do you feel about that?
Coming from Colorado, that's where I did my undergrad at the University of Colorado Boulder. That's where I had classical theater training. And coming from that environment and then going to Hollywood, it took me 2 years to realize that the phrase you just mentioned, let's do lunch. That phrase, it took me 2 years to realize that what that really means is the conversation is over. I didn't realize that.
Is over.
I mean, in my naive mind at the time, I would think, you know, some producer I'd talk to, I'd be networking and hustling and doing my thing. And some producer would say, hey, let's do lunch, huh? Let's do lunch. And then maybe, you know, they'd wink, all that Hollywood nonsense. Yeah, hey, let's do lunch. Listen, Chris, good to see you, fella. All right, keep it going. And in my mind, I'm going, okay, so he gave me his business card. He wants to do lunch. Cool. So we're going to hook this up and network and la. Crickets.
Yeah.
That would happen repeatedly until it finally hit me. Oh, that just means you're done talking. Wow. It's a hard lesson. But people do this a lot. Some of the ugly truths in Hollywood are hard to swallow, Lester. It's like, it's an ugly game. Wow. It's a dog-eat-dog world in Hollywood. It's ruthless, it's vicious, it's ugly, but the work is delicious.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see?
It's like cleaning the meat. It's like when you're cleaning the meat, it's nasty and it's ugly. It doesn't feel good, but after it's cooked,
it's delicious.
It's the meal that you eat. That's what I got. That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah. That's what it registered in my brain. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that was a great depiction of, no?
I'm still the whole,
Didn't like that?
it's not that I didn't like it. I mean, it's like cleaning the meat. Let me just wrestle with that for a second. Just like cleaning the meat.
I think it worked out.
I guess as long as someone likes meat.
Meat, you're right. I'm
you
going
know
to get in trouble for that one. You're right. Well,
no, I mean,
thanks for getting me in trouble.
Say it again?
Thanks for getting me in trouble.
Yeah, you know, I just didn't mean to get you in trouble, Symphony. I was just trying to take it in. Did it make sense to you, Lester?
Yeah, let's just say yeah.
You got it.
That's okay. No, and that's what matters. That's what matters.
In all seriousness, I got it.
Yeah, no,
you know I got it. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. It's just you know.
That's just good acting.
So one more question regarding, you know, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now I know you've talked about Mr. Morris being heartbroken about being fired from Martin. Do you think if Martin would have showed up, like they would have been able to squash that beef or the assumed beef that there was?
I talked with Garrett about this whole subject, and we talked about it on numerous occasions. Was it extremely difficult for him to deal with that situation in the hospital? Yes. But at that Hollywood Walk of Fame, Garrett could not have been more classy in the way he handled it. He spoke about Martin, he acknowledged Martin's talent, and really gave him his props for his career accomplishments and his enormous impact in this industry. And here's the thing, I don't think there's some ongoing feud, okay? As you know, Tashina Arnold, Carl Payne, Jonathan Grice, all from Martin, they showed up and they were present for Garrett's ceremony for the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
I think the media has been perpetuating this notion that, oh, Garrett and Martin just must hate on each other, and that's not the case. It's simply not the case. And it's a difficult subject in the sense that I worked with Martin before, not only on his show years ago, but Martin was an executive producer on an independent film that I worked on. Every time he'd come to set, he was an absolute gentleman. We got along beautifully. So that's also true.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I wasn't there when the hospital thing occurred. I don't know all the background goings on there. I really wish that it could have been possible for the two of them to just talk, and just clear the air, so to speak.
Yeah.
That would really have been I think, helpful thing. However, having said that, I don't think that there's I don't think there's an ongoing beef. No, Garrett doesn't even talk about it in that regard.
Yeah. And I mean, we know here, headlines will run things. Sometimes the headline presents one thing, but in the body of the work, it's complete. It's just a whole bunch of fluff together just to put together a story. So.
It's provocative. You can put that out there. Click. Someone wants to see, oh, what did he say about it? So.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the internet, one of the things that we know that happens, of course, there's business. There's the business side. We talked about it being ugly. But there's also where people like to, comment their own thoughts on your personal life. One of those recently for you was regarding your family. You would post a photo of your family and people would, have some things to say. And of course you would respond. One, I want to get what's your main perspective on, on these responses that you get when we're talking about your wife that you met on the Jamie Foxx show? What's your main perspective there?
Well, my main perspective is I am bowled over and incredibly grateful for the overwhelming amount of positive feedback and responses and support on both those posts, the posts of myself with my family, as well as the two of us together, Susan and I, in those photos in a separate post.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, the responses have been excellent. I appreciate that. In terms of the hateful comments, which undeniably are there as well, they certainly aren't the majority.
Right.
But here's the thing. My response about hate, first of all, I have no time for hate. I have no respect for hate. It's garbage. Okay?
Yeah.
And normally I wouldn't even dignify it with a response. But what I was simply saying on that post, the reason I acknowledged it is I get asked so many times about this topic of interracial relationships. Let me use this as a potentially important, teachable moment where I can allow people who follow me in social media, I can make sure they're clear about where I stand, since I keep getting asked about it. It wasn't me trying to explain myself or justify my choices. I will never do that. I don't live my life to appease others. That won't happen in this lifetime.
Yeah. Now, when y'all met on set, was there any hesitations to dating one another? Was there any, from your end or hers, being that it was, interracial relationship, obviously further back? Like, was there any hesitations to that, knowing that you may or may not get backlash?
Not a one. Meaning, in my mind,
Yeah.
I have in my life, and some people assume if they see a black man with a white woman, oh, that brother. That's all he dates.
He's selling out.
Snow bunnies.
Yeah.
That's what they'll say. His brother's nothing but he all about snow bunnies.
Snow bunny.
I mean, seriously, if someone were to go back in my past, I've been with sisters, white women, Latinas. I love, adore, and respect women. Period. One doesn't equal the other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. So, no, when Sue and I had our chemistry, which exists to this very day, if she came walking around this corner, and we've been together over 25 years, right now, if she came walking around this corner, something inside of me would just get heavy. And I would start feeling like a lion on the Serengeti. I'm telling you. And how in the hell would any human being either apologize for that or be thinking, maybe I should be self-conscious about this? I mean, she's white. She's a woman. Okay? Are there brothers out there who fall into that garbage trap of, well, I have to be with a white woman in order to count or to make my life have value? Does that exist? I'm sure it does. But you know what? That's garbage to me.
Yeah.
That's garbage. Let me put it to you this way. I didn't go out to marry a white woman. I married Susan Lee Wood Duncan, and she's white.
You better talk about your woman.
Aww. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. If my husband don't talk like that about me, I'm just let him know, like.
I feel a sense of gratitude and good fortune. Let me say this to you about the two, Susan and myself. Because a lot of people say to me, Chris, well, what's the secret? You know, what, you guys been together so long and all this joy and your kids and so forth. Keep this in mind. In all this time, my wife and I have never called each other a name. Never. Now, we're like any couple. Do we have conflicts at times, disagreements? Of course we do. Right. It's how we deal with them. That speaks to the level of respect. There's nothing inside my body that says, you know what, it's okay for me to be disrespectful in this moment because I'm angry. No, it's not. I value our love. I value all of her beauty, inside and out. She is so bright and talented and deep and passionate, all the qualities that I adore. Yeah. So consequently, we have this mutual, in addition to our deep love and affection, we have respect. So I celebrate my wife and my family. I feel like I'm one of the luckiest cats on the planet. And when these ignorant ass people make bullshit comments, like, for example, look at that one kid right there. He ain't got no black up in it. Excuse me, let me reread that comment. Now see, people who understand the genetic possibilities when it comes to interracial relationships, they get it. They get it. Yeah. But when people are coming from ignorance, they're looking at it and thinking, wait a minute, the youngest one, he's way too light for that to be his dad. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you read up on genetics and the different possibilities? It's nonsense, it's unfortunate, but it exists. And again, that's why I said to you, to me, it's a teachable moment, especially for some young people out there who may be you know, attracted to a different a race, right? I want to let them know that there are other ways to see life and to conduct oneself in life. You don't have to be in some kind of box. Some people assume that if a black man is with a white woman, like I remember the question John asked me before on this set about, can one be pro-black and still date a white woman? Now, I find that question absurd. Not because John asked it.
Right.
Because one does not equal the other. Let me explain. Let me give you a few names, Symphony. Okay, ready? Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, James Earl Jones, Jamie Foxx. Now I ask both of you, would you consider the people that I just named, and let's add in Serena Williams? I would like to hear from both of you. Would you consider those individuals pro-black?
Pro-black. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm going check. Yep. Nope. Got that one. Yeah, I feel like, you know, when all the numbers start going, yeah, no, it's adding up.
So,
Is that pro-black? Yeah.
So here's the thing. All of them, I mean, a couple of those people are no longer with us, but all of them either were with white women,
yeah,
or are with white women.
And I'll add this in too, as a black woman, I would say I've never had an issue with interracial relationships. My issue comes in when, especially let's talk about black men specifically, right? When a black man is dating a white woman and he trashes his race. But like you said, you call that trash. So to me, that's the only like issue I've ever had of like, you don't have to put down anybody. You don't have to put down anybody to say, oh, I'm going to date over here because this is trash. Because at that point, do you really love this person? Or are you just thinking, this is my only option because I ran out of options in here? So for me as a black woman, like, that's when I get iffy. That's when like the back of my neck start itching a little bit. I'd be like, well, hold on for a second. But for me, when I see a couple together, the only thought that comes in is like, I just hope you're not trashing. And that's whether it's a black man, white man, whatever. You don't have to trash your race
ever
to go to another race.
I agree.
Ever. The opposite. Be proud of coming from a race of people. We are the most resilient race, to me, on this planet. You look at the adversities, the horrors that our ancestors went through, the difficulties, the adversities, the systemic racism that we as a race deal with to this day.
2024.
2024. And yet, what are we still doing? We are succeeding. We are rising above all of the hatred that can come in our direction, right?
Absolutely.
In every sector of society. Medicine, inventions, music. The list goes on and on and on. In law, in politics, we are not only survivors, we're victors.
Absolutely.
So it would be despicable to me for someone to be a part of some kind of self-loathing for being black. And that would equal not being pro-black.
Pro-black, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because I'm not only pro-black, let me wrap it up by saying this, I'm also pro-good people of any race.
Come on now.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
Speak.
Because you have garbage.
Speak.
There's a garbage mentality in every race.
And for us, all kinfolk ain't skinfolk. Or all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. I got it backwards, but all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. So it's just saying, like, just because someone looks like you, it doesn't mean that they represent the same thing or believe in the same thing that you believe in. So, no, I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I'm calling this segment, like, the TED Talk, because I feel like I've learned so much. If my husband doesn't talk about me the way you just talked about Sue, if I don't interrupt anything that he's doing when I walk by, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm gonna send it back. I'm gonna send it back. You ain't the one. That ain't it. That ain't what I learned. But no, I do appreciate you for giving insight, not necessarily explaining yourself or trying to, go to bat for your family, but giving insight, because I do think that is helpful for people that may not be educated, that may have this certain thought process because of the way that they were raised, being able to get a different perspective. So I appreciate you for even taking the time. Yeah, and I think I heard somebody clap. We can definitely clap it up for that. Taking the time to do so. Again, thank you so much for joining us, Christopher B. Duncan.
My pleasure.
As always, coming with knowledge and good time. But you're not going anywhere just yet. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be playing a new segment called Flip the Script, powered by PenFlow AI. You're watching the Comedy Hype News Show Late Night.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy E. Mays, and I am here with Hype Hunter today, and we are at the Garden Bar at Hype Studios. And I am so happy to have Auntie from the Bookstore Gallery here with me today. And today she's actually brought us something special. I really want to try this. Tell me a little bit about it.
Ha Ha Hemp is a collaboration with Comedy Hype. John of Comedy Hype was the one.
Shouts out the home team.
There you go. He was the one who came up with the idea of having a tea that helps you laugh daily.
Oh.
Drink tea.
Laugh daily.
Ha Ha Hemp. Hemp basically is a plant. It's the cousin to the marijuana plant. People often ask, well, is it going to get me high? No, it's not going to get you high. It's going to get you chilled. That's what hemp does.
All right, this is your boy's first taste at Ha Ha Hemp. Oh, that's good.
Is it really?
That's
You
good.
were just saying that, right?
No, that is good. Head over to hypemarket.com for our platform. We have all her products listed there. And that doesn't fit your fancy, you can head down to the Bookstore Gallery, speak with Auntie herself, get a little bit more information, run whatever you need to do, Google search, put it in your computer, on your phone. Go get this product. Thank you very much. This is amazing. Amazing.
Welcome back, welcome back. This part of the segment is called Flip the Script, powered by PenFlow AI. Now, Christopher, Flip the Script is all about taking the script and flipping it. So you mentioned Anthony Hopkins, so I thought it'd be a cool idea to get your reenactment on one of his famous movies, Silence of the Lambs. Are you game for that?
Wow. Wow.
I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Reenact Anthony Hopkins. Well, I've seen that movie I don't know how many times. So, all right, bring it on, man. Okay. And what are we doing? Which scene?
Silence of the Lambs. As soon as you see the words, you'll know exactly which scene it is.
Let me see what
so, you got this?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to give it a shot here.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, and I'm assuming, Symphony, you're going to read Clarice?
I can. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they first meet.
Oh, the lights went off. Oh, it's getting serious.
Good morning, Dr. Lecter. My name is Clarice Starling. May I speak with you?
You're one of Jack Crawford's, aren't you?
I am, yes.
May I see your credentials?
Certainly.
Closer. Closer. That expires in 1 week. You're not real FBI, are you?
I'm still in training at the academy.
Jack Crawford sent a trainee to me.
Yes, I'm a student and I'm here to learn from you. Maybe you can decide whether or not I'm qualified enough to do that.
That is rather slippery, Agent Starling. You use Evian skin cream. And sometimes you wear Olay du Temps. But not today.
Scene.
Creepy.
And scene.
I started getting nervous for real.
Brilliant.
I was like, wait a second.
That was brilliant. Okay.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I'm sweating.
I mean, I've seen that film so many times. That man's performance is brilliant. That's just me being silly about it, but he has that particular kind of tone in his voice, and there's something really creepy about that.
So we got another one from the film Taken by Liam Neeson. How would you play it?
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
We got a phone for you.
Can we get a bigger one?
That's the exact phone that he used in the scene. I remember it.
Right.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But if you're looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have any money. But what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Scene. Whoa. 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 Listen.
Not checking to see if he's still on the phone. Let me tell you about the movie really quick. I loved the movie. Hated it for my life because I was supposed to take a trip. And when my mom saw the movie, she was like, oh no, you're not going abroad. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Changed my life.
Yeah, that dude says, good luck. Click. Click.
Well, then we got to do one more.
Yeah, we got one more. Three's a charm. We got to do one more.
We doing one more?
We're doing one more. And you probably don't even need the tablet for this. One of our favorite movies.
Hey, can somebody help me, please? Let's see what they're gonna.
Okay, I'll lay it up. This one is a surprise for you.
Okay.
So, and I want to make sure I also lay up. I love seeing your range, but I would be crazy if I let you leave without showing a little bit of Braxton. Now I'm gonna take a very iconic role from Training Day. Iconic scene. You already know which one I'm talking about. When you're in the middle of the crowd, I'm putting cases on. But with a twist or with a flip. How would Braxton, if Braxton was in that situation? So don't give me Denzel. I'm not asking for a reenactment. But how would Braxton respond in that moment? And you don't have to do the whole thing.
Come on.
I haven't done Braxton in years.
I know, but don't y'all want to hear Braxton before he leaves, right? Don't make us chant, because
you know you're wrong for this. You know you're wrong, every one of you. I got to step into Braxton's shoes again after all these years. You see how you are? Okay.
We love you, bro.
Thank you, Symphony.
I do, from the bottom of my heart.
All right. I am putting cases on all of you scallywags. You black brethren will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Oh!
Y'all give it up for our special guest, Christopher B. Duncan. We're going to be back right after this commercial. You're watching the Comedy Hype News Show Late Night.
Need some help writing your next proposal or verbiage for your business site? PenFlow AI is the solution for you. By adding just a few prompts and clicks, this AI-powered and human-driven app will get you one step closer to completing your project. So head on over to penflowai.com to get your writing needs done today. Stop procrastinating and let's get it done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say you haven't done it in a long time. I would say even the word choice of like changing it, phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, these are words that just, I know that Braxton would use as opposed to those exact words in that scene.
Yeah, and we're very familiar with it. Now, of course, we love the Braxton, but I want to come back to Christopher B. Duncan because you have a lot of amazing things going on, so I want to make sure that we take the time to acknowledge that. How can people keep up with you? Of course, I mean, the internet knows at this point how to keep up with you.
Yes.
But how can people keep up with all the amazing things that you're doing and working on?
Well, currently, I am getting ready for the premiere and be on the lookout for the premiere of season 3 of BMF.
Come on.
Oh. Be on the lookout for that. Like I said, March 1st, I believe that's a Friday. And I'm not sure how they're releasing the episodes, meaning if they'll release them a week at a time or if they'll release a handful on March 1st, and then each week release another episode. But I have a recurring character named Blaze. Listen to me. That role is yet another opportunity, which you'll see, for me to dig into yet another part of my range. That season, ooh. Again, I can't give any spoilers away.
I was thinking you was gonna roll it.
Yeah, no. I can't give any spoilers away, but it is a must-see season. I have that recurring role of Blaze. I think they did, 10 episodes for this 3rd season?
Okay.
And you'll see me quite a bit, and it'll speak for itself.
Yeah. Well.
Also, I am, as we speak, still working on a different show called Tell Me Lies. That's a wonderful show as well, and that's on Hulu. And of course, BMF, of course, is on Stars.
Yes.
50s, that cat is a mover and a shaker.
Man, yeah.
I mean, seriously.
To both of you
for
all
really?
The success.
Yeah.
He's been moving for sure, and definitely creating. And I love being able to see, like, he didn't allow himself to just get stuck in one realm.
Yes.
He started opening himself up more, and I love it. I mean, 50 know how to stay in the headlines.
For real.
He's an entrepreneur. He's got crazy success in music.
Yeah.
And now in film and TV, you name it. Again, that brother is a mover and a shaker, and I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to play this role, because it really is just a whole different kind of side to my range. It's a different dynamic. I can't wait for folks to see season 3 of BMF.
And
check it out.
No spoilers at all? And I didn't. No.
No.
Well, I'll have to bring you back for next time so you can tell me more after it's released. We'll bring you back.
That's
so
a
we can
deal.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a deal.
You said it here first. Well, again, thank you so much, Christopher B. Duncan, for joining us. You all stick around because we have more right here on the Comedy Hype News Show, Late Night. So we just released hypealerts.com, which gives you, our community, the opportunity to submit breaking news, interview requests, and/or a throwback story. And I know how much I love those throwback stories. Now, this is exciting to me because, one, I'm always reporting on these things, but also I think it's important and valuable for our content to reflect the pulse of the culture. So what are you still doing here? Message us at hypealerts.com, and I hope to cover your story. Make it good too. Don't give me no stuff. Like, give me something good. Make me feel good. Something that really speaks to our people. Something good. Message us. Another amazing show. Would y'all agree? Now, I'm super excited because before we go, I have a special gift for us. Calling in right now is our very own and one of my favorite, Miss Yamanika Saunders. How are you?
Hi, Tiffany. Hi, guys. Hello. Hi, Lester.
How are you? First of all, congratulations on another season of Life and Beth on Hulu. Congratulations to you. We'll give you another round of applause. My girl is killing it. She's killing it. But how have you been? How have you been, Yamanika?
I've been great. I've been blessed. I've been busy. I've been just on the road, running around, trying to keep up with all these comedy beeves.
And we talked about him, Yamanika. So I have to get your thoughts because we did talk about it earlier. Of course, you know, it seems it all started from, you know, on Club Shay Shay, the interviews with Cat Williams, talked to Shannon Sharp. What are your thoughts on all these beefs? You have Eddie Griffin, you have Mike Epps, you have Cat Williams, Monique. What are your thoughts on all these beefs that's happening?
I don't know. I mean, comedy is about beef, right? Comedians, at least, we're supposed to be truth tellers, and we go on stage and we talk about things that are real. That's why it resonates and connects with you. I don't know. I don't have a problem with if you have a gripe and you have a complaint and you know you got a platform to go and say what you got to say. It's totally fine. I think people get upset when it's the person they don't like that's that has the platform to say whatever they want. So I think there was a little bit different energy when Kat was talking versus when Monique went and did Club Shay Shay. But listen, keep people's name out of your mouth, if you don't want the smoke. But I think Kat definitely didn't mind having the smoke, and Monique, we know her and Daddy, they like to smoke together. So they'll be fine.
So let me ask you, Yamaneika, too, because a lot of people are putting a lot of blame on Shannon Sharpe. And as you see, of course, comedians taking it to the stage, calling out Shannon Sharpe. Do you think there's a responsibility on Shannon Sharpe's, part in all of this? Do you think he's bad? Some people are saying he's bad for comedy. What are your thoughts?
No, he's not bad for comedy. Everything has been thoroughly entertaining to me. Listen, everything that was said about Steve Harvey, we believe. I mean, that sounds like Steve Harvey, okay? Everything that we've heard about everybody. I mean, I didn't see any lies being told. I mean, Ricky Smiley wearing a dress, that's accurate. Now, if you liked him when he was wearing a dress and doing Miss Maybelline or whoever this woman was that he was doing, good for you. I mean, this should not be changing people's fan base. You already knew who these people were when you were following them. I think the only thing that we probably want to focus on is not bashing people's sexuality, right? Because it doesn't really matter if people are gay or whatever people got going on in their lives is going on with them. But we also messy. Like, I don't understand. There's a lot of hypocrisy around this conversation. We can go to places like the Shade Room. We can go to places like Something Noir, got Something Noir in there, Shady. I mean, the Shade Room, they got the teen room. They got the newborn baby room now. They got the grandmama room. So, and I'm subscribed to all of them. So, we like seeing the mess. So let's not act like we don't like seeing mess. And then when mess comes to us, we act like, oh, here we go. They ruining the Black community. We got to stop doing that. White people out here being just as reckless, just as wild. They may not be doing exactly the same kind of things that we're doing in terms of having comedy beefs, but white people out here just doing the most anyway. And I most certainly don't live my life every day trying to make sure that white people think I'm above board. Yeah. Not a group of people that brought us over here from our land and enslaved us. We weren't about what they think about us. They've already thought very lowly about us.
Yeah, no, Yamaneika, now I will say one thing I've definitely missed is your commentary and jokes. You always seem to, like, you give the facts and you give your thoughts, but you always add some funny in it. So I appreciate you for being able to call in. Now, before you go, though, because you talked about you being on the road, as I said, Life in Beth is back on Hulu, so make sure you guys check that out. Where can people keep up with all the wonderful things you're doing right now?
Well, this time I got my calendar because I never have my calendar prepared. Yes, you can watch the second season of Life in Beth, which is on Hulu. All episodes are available for you to stream right now. I hope people watch it and get really excited about it. I'm asking those who love and support me to please go watch this show and shout out to Hulu for putting the energy that they need to put behind this show for it to be spectacular. You can actually see me the 26th through the 26th of February through March the 4th. I will be, 26th of February to March the 3rd. I will be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. Really excited about doing that room. Also, if you're in Austin, Texas, I'll be doing my 1 hour show at South by Southwest. South by Southwest is 1 night, 1 hour extravaganza with Yamaneika. I'm working on an experimental hour, and I'm going to be showcasing it at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas on March the 9th. If you're in Aruba, you can check me out March the 11th through the 14th. I will be out there doing comedy rays out there, having a really good time. And if you're in New York City, you can catch me this Sunday, February the 25th, before I go to Las Vegas. I will be doing my experimental hour at the Fat Black Pussycat attached to the Comedy Cellar. So anybody interested in seeing my experimental hours, I'll be doing them twice a month here in New York City. Please contact me on anything at Yamaneika. You can also go to comedycellar.com to see when I am available, and at Yamaneika on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on everything, Yamanika. I miss you dearly. It's so good seeing you.
Miss you too. Congratulations to you. I mean, you look so amazing. Late night, okay? You got to be the youngest, hottest Black woman in late night history. So I'm really excited about that.
Coming from you, it's an honor.
Too.
Coming from you, it's an honor. So congratulations. I'm definitely going to try to make it to New York. I need to come to New York. I keep saying that. I'm going to come to New York to show you some love. So good seeing you.
Y'all, one more time for Yamanika.
Woo!
Woo!
Always a pleasure seeing Yamanika. Now, before we go, and speaking of comedians, I actually want to send a little bit of love and prayers to Coco Brown and her son Phoenix, who recently lost their home to a fire. Now, this was a very, very, very unfortunate event to happen. So let's come together as a community to show Coco Brown and Phoenix that they are not alone. You can make a donation through her GoFundMe. That can be found in her bio on Instagram at Coco Brown, One Funny Mama. Look, we weren't created to do life alone, so it's never a bad idea for us to come together as a community to make sure we don't feel alone. And as I always say, never lose hope, always keep love, and know that your faith what works really works. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Comedy Hype News Show Late Night. I'm Symphony Thompson.